far can a father go to rescue his son?
קשה להאמין, אבל בתוך ההפגנה הזו של האופוזיציה הסורית בחלב נמצא אזרח בלגי שהגיע מאירופה כדי לחפש את בנו שנסע למדינת הג'יהאד.
Of course it's crazy. I made this. Look what I made. Look.
היי דוד.
שלום.
שלום. הבן של דימיטרי יויון גדל בסביבה נוצרית, הוא היה בעצם ילד אירופי טיפוסי.
Of course we have seen the radicalization, the transfiguration of my son. I'm atheist. His mom is very Catholic. We brought our son up as a very Western boy. I've been in the United States, I've been in Spain, all over the world, in Italy. You know, most of the youngsters who move up to Syria, they disappear like a thief in the night. Nobody of them say to the parents. My son, he said he's going holiday to Holland with friends. I meet these Muslim friends from him. So I trust him, I believe they're going to Holland. After he said he went to Cairo, but he's not. He never have been in Egypt to study. What they did, they moved up to Holland with friends from this organization, and they took a plane to Istanbul, Adana, and then enter Syria immediately. And Abu Faris, the one you show in the video, he was the first one to come and pick up my son there.
Then what you do?
So I feel this is not normal, this is something wrong, it's totally something wrong. 14 March, you have a small sister, she was 10 years, so the day of the birthday, 14 March, no phone call, no message of the big brother. Really, I have a feeling, if you believe it or not, I feel that something is wrong. Believe me, I feel it. 6 days later, on 20 March, I hear news from other parents from Antwerp, from this city, who have children who were also a member of this organization, that they are in Syria. When I hear that, I say, no doubt, my son is there. From 20 March, every day I was on YouTube, on the internet, searching pictures. YouTube, I couldn't sleep in the night until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the night. I was looking videos from Syria on YouTube. Dawla, yeah, Dawla. And the end of March, I discover a video from Aleppo television station with only Belgian guys, Belgian members of this organization who even speak our language from Antwerp. Flemish, yes. They say, hey, niet schieten als je ze ziet, hè.
Enkel schiet als je ze ziet, hè.
So that means don't shoot if you don't see them, eh. When I see that video with yellow flowers,
Allahu Akbar.
all friends of my son, very young guys, from here, from Antwerp, I say, I'm sure now, know that my son is there. So, what I need to do? I don't speak Arabic. I don't know anything about the culture, I don't speak Arabic, I don't have any connections in Syria. So what I did, I make an appeal in the newspaper, in the media, that I'm looking for volunteers to start a mission to Syria in search of my missing child. You know, nobody replied.
כשדימיטרי גילה שבנו בסוריה, הוא הבין שבעצם על פי החוק הבלגי הוא כלל לא עשה עבירה ולכן אין כל בעיה איתו. האבא החליט לעשות הכל לבד.
I even went to the police to say, I'm afraid, I'm worried, my son is disappeared. You know what the police said to me? It's not your business. I said, excuse me, what? Excuse me, what? They were laughing with me, they took me as a clown. Disgusting, really, all the parents is in the same tragedy. Really, I expect it's disgusting. You know, I say, why? I say, I'm afraid because I know the history before. I know that he was under bad influence from the wrong people, the bad people, the wrong people. So I'm afraid that maybe my son is in a conflict area. And they say to me, it's not even your business. Why? Because he's 18, he's adult.
אז דימיטרי מבין שבעצם רק הוא יכול להוציא את הבן שלו מסוריה, שבעצם לשלטונות באירופה כלל לא משנה אם הוא עורף ראשים או נח באיזה חוף בקריבים, הוא בחופשה וזהו.
Of course we ask help everywhere. Nobody help us. The whole world was watching and doing nothing to see that our own Western child was totally in hands of evil. Who appeal on my appeal in the media? Nobody. Only media, yes. So I went off to Syria.
How?
With media, with the Holland journalists, freelance journalists, and a photographer from Mexico, who have connections in Syria, who have connections with rebels.
So then you enter and come to Halab.
Yes, and the only point of view we had was that video with the yellow flowers. So, where we need to start? Yeah, the first logical something is to start target Hajj and Aleppo, you know. That time Aleppo was controlled by Jabhat al-Nusra. I sleep with rebels, I sleep with mujahideen. They all respect me. They never took $1 from me. They all do it voluntarily.
Time for action. We have targets. We ready to move.
In Aleppo, I've been in so many places. You can't imagine. I think totally on my mission, I've been 40 days there. I think I've been totally in more than 125 katibas. Al-Tawit, Asham, Jabhat al-Nusra, Bush Shura Council of Mujahideen.
And there is no bombing, there is no...
Yeah, of course there was bombing. Of course you will see videos that is bombing above my head. That I need to run and snipers and... Of course you will see me in the car that is bombing above me, that I'm saying you feel your adrenaline in your body. So I was in the right location. Where were all the European youngsters in the palace, the big palace? It was full with mujahideens with caps. They say they don't know my son. In fact, when they know my son, then they don't want to give my son to me because they suspect me that I'm Mossad, yes. Yeah, and my son too. They suspect that my son called me to come and rescue him there. I returned with empty hands 10 May 2013 without my son. The first contact was the end of June. One of my Syrian connections called me on Skype and he brought me in contact with a Belgian guy and he said, your son is okay, he's still alive. But I couldn't believe it because I don't have any proof. And then the first contact, my son contacted me, was the end of September.
How?
By phone. I couldn't believe it first that he called me, you know. And this communication was very short, only 1 minute. So I tell him, call me back. He said, yeah, okay, tomorrow. The next day he called me, he speak 45 minutes with me by phone with a number from Saudi. Then I arranged a mission to get him out, to get him back. The first emotional contact was very emotional. I hold him like a small baby, you know. And the first question I asked him after 2 minutes holding him like this, you know what it was? You like something to eat? Yeah, but I was the most happy guy in the world that I have my child back, believe me. Because all these children, they belong here in their home countries and not to make a revolution that is not a revolution of them. They are Western European youngsters. Western European youngsters belong here with the families because it's a tragedy for mothers and fathers. It's a nightmare to lose your child that they join up, became a member of an Islamic state.
לאחר שדימיטרי החזיר את יויון לאנטוורפן, הוא עומד לדין בשל אותה נסיעה לארץ הג'יהאד. הורים רבים בבלגיה פונים לדימיטרי שיעזור להם להשיב את ילדיהם שעזבו את אירופה ונסעו לסוריה.
I feel good, you know why? Because I know I'm close, near to my son and doing action and responsibility. Moving something, my friends. Not to stay here as a selfish guy like all these Western governments who are doing nothing as just only watching, my friends. This is what they call action and taking responsibility.
הממשלות באירופה מגלות כיום עד כמה עמוקה הבעיה. אחד הדברים שהאירופים לא לקחו בחשבון זה את עניין הרשתות החברתיות והשפה הערבית באינטרנט. הדבר הזה הפך לכלי מספר אחד לגיוס וקשר בין פעילים בסוריה ולכאן, לצעירים באירופה.
I believe that the world is a much smaller place with the advent of the internet. People are no longer reliant on the BBC or the Sky News or the CNN for their news. They can get it first-hand on Facebook, on Twitter, on social media. Plus the YouTube and other such entities allow people to see first-hand what's taking place. Everybody has an iPhone or they have some kind of a device with these kind of facilities where they can portray something immediately and pass it around the world.
Obviously things have changed a huge deal in the last 10 years with social media especially. I mean, you look at the recruitment drive at ISIS, the propaganda, and it's really clever and the government are one step behind. You don't necessarily need to have the charismatic ideologue. You can spend like hours in your bedroom after dark, young guy, and you can watch, you've got access to these videos, to that kind of graphic brutality and the violence. If you tap into the right place, you watch videos of Muslims being slaughtered and killed and children with their limbs blown off and things like that, which to a British person, and this is where the naivety comes in again and maybe a little bit, you're not used to that. You know, the media is very sanitized. So when you see it, you're horrified. You're absolutely horrified, and you feel like, and that's when the radicalization kind of starts to come in.
We're not a totally surveillance society. You can't watch everybody, and for MI5 it's always a big issue over who they can monitor and who they should let go and then monitor at a different time.
למרות שהארגון הזה שריע לבלגיה וגם הארגון של השייח אנג'ם חודרי הם האחראים העיקריים לשיגור רוב המוג'אהידין למדינה האסלאמית, באירופה של היום ישנו קושי מבחינת החוק לא רק לעצור את אנג'ם וחבריו, אלא אפילו להגדיר את הארגונים הללו כלא חוקיים.
Sharia for Belgium by the Belgian law. They outside the law, they are now banned by the law, or
No,
still can?
no, because that's also something difficult. According to the law, they don't exist. It's not an official established organization.
Yeah, but the guys are. There is guys there.
But it's quite difficult to legally ban something that legally doesn't exist.
It is a terror organization by your government.
We don't have that kind of official list, but it's. Let's say it's decided case per case.
למרות כל הטקסטים שאמר כאן השייח אנג'ם בזכות עריפת ראשים וכיבוש איסלאמי של בריטניה והודעות של כאלו שיצאו לסוריה בהשראתו, עדיין בבריטניה זה נחשב חוקי.
He's certainly viewed as very extreme by an awful lot of people. He is right there on the edges, but he's not overstepped the mark. There's no evidence to suggest that he's taking part in planning violent acts, because if there were, he would be arrested. So people may not like his views at all, but, you know, we do have freedom of speech in this country.
It's a very delicate point. We are a democracy, of course. You have the freedom of speech, you have the freedom of religion. It is not prohibited to be radical. You can say and think whatever you want, and let's be very happy that it is this way in Europe. But of course, if people take abuse of these liberties to start to become an enemy of the liberty, an enemy of our society, then you need to step up. But it's of course delicate to start prohibiting people from thinking in certain ways. So that's a very difficult point. A new federal government that has just been installed has in the government agreement the ambition to say, well, we will illegalize the fact that you go off and join irregular fighting groups. That will become a criminal offense. And if you do so and you are condemned under the Terrorist Act, you can also lose your citizenship. And this is of course a very important step.
כשחקיקה כזו כבר התבצעה באירופה, היא כיוונה לסממנים חיצוניים כמו חוק הרעלה או חוק צריכי המסגדים, ואז התגובה האלימה של חלק מהקהילה המוסלמית הבהילה את האירופים.
In the history of Sharia for Belgium, one of the things that was very important in the recruitment of people, for example, was a ban on headscarves in public schools in Antwerp. There were possibly reasons for that ban. I don't think that the headscarf is that much of a problem in the school. That's my personal opinion. It was banned. A lot of young Muslim people were outrageous for that and entered an organization like Sharia for Belgium out of that anger.
Which you says that the law of burqa or the law of the minarets pushed them more.
Clearly, yeah.
לפרשנות הזו, בנוסף לפחד האירופי מפגיעה בחוקי היסוד, ישנו משקל רב בהגבלת ארגוני המודיעין והלחימה בטרור, שמוצאים את עצמם חסרי אונים בחקירות ובזיהוי הג'יהאדיסטים החדשים, אלו שעוברים בשדות התעופה ובמעברי הגבול ללא כל ידיעה מה הם באמת עשו בסוריה.
You are naive. Naive? No, we're all naive. No, our government is naive. Our government is naive that our governments close the eyes and that our governments don't make it forbidden that these radical extremist organizations are active in this country. The government is naive because we ask help. We say, take my son out there, make it forbidden for him to go there because it's no good for his future. And the answer was, sorry sir, we cannot help you because we are living in a democracy. So who fell? We as parents or the governments? I'm sorry my friends, the government fell.
אולי כל הסיפור הזה של דימיטרי הוא סיפור של ניצחון של אבא שדואג לבנו שנלקח על ידי דאעש ומצליח להחזיר אותו. זה גם סיפור על אוזלת היד האירופית ותמימות שעדיין קיימת ביבשת, אבל זה גם סיפור ניצחון לאסלאם. מדוע? הנה התשובה.
And the positive element is, I'm happy that he have been there. Believe me, I'm really happy that he have been there, that he have seen with his own eyes what is Islam, what is the good Islam and what is the wrong Islam. To be honest, I really love to become Muslim because I have seen the beautiful religion of Islam. I have seen the solidarity of a really international brotherhood, really a religion where there is respect and no racism and where nobody have problems. Western people can learn a lot about Islam, believe me. That is also one of the reasons why many Western people, men and women, youngsters and old people converted to Islam. Why? Because there is solidarity. There is solidarity. There is cohesion of a nation. You understand the meaning of cohesion of a nation? Really, you never walk alone. In Islam, you never walk alone. You always protected, you always have solidarity. It's unbelievable. It's a really beautiful religion. So I still have a feeling in my head that...
So next year you're a Muslim?
If we...
Inshallah.
Inshallah, shukran, inshallah, yeah.
Thank you very much.